right. I know, right? Hello, everybody. Hi. We've had internet troubles all day. We've had no internet at all. So I'm taping this in hopes that I can download it sometime soon. We've had internet trouble all week. So I finally caught up on all of the YouTube and regular Facebook downloadings. So now we're going to start cooking again. Today we're doing cakes. We've done a chocolate cake. We've done brownies. So there's your box brownies. You can't buy any more. You've got your chocolate cake. We can do any others. But today we're going to do the angel food cake. I know, angel food cake. Because if you screw it up, you lose 12 eggs. Well, the good news is you don't lose 12 whole eggs. You only lose... I don't buy the eggs anymore because you can do it like this. I did it before and separate all 12 eggs out. But what do you do with 12 yolks? That's kind of hard. You don't know what to do with them. So what I buy is egg whites. Not egg replacer, not egg white replacer, but it has to say egg whites. You just want the egg whites. They're already separated and they're great. The trick to this cake is leave this out. Just like, remember when we were doing our maple frosting, we let our egg whites that we separated and put them out on the counter and we brought them to room temperature, you know, half an hour. Usually I leave them any time during the day when I'm baking the cake. Same with this. Leave these out on the counter for about a half an hour, get them to room temperature. But before we play with the eggs at all, the first ingredients that we have to deal with are 1 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, just powdered sugar, and 1 cup of flour. Those need to be put together and they needed to be sifted together. It's really funny. Sifters, right? Nobody's seen sifters for years. Mary Bryce Hislop, I know you know what this is. I know we've used them. Shirley, I know. But everybody else is going, what? A hootie, what? So, no, this is what you do, everybody. It isn't a hootie, what. This is what we used to do back in the 60s and the 70s and the 50s and the whatever else. Until only about 20 years ago, they disappeared. I actually found this, in a antique shop or something? We were shopping one day or... No, actually, I think it was a lawn sale.
Yard sale.
Yeah, it was a yard sale, and we went out with what we went there to buy, and then I saw this, and I was like, Screech, gotta have it. And you were kind of like, what is that? So, yeah, you probably did. Your mother bakes like crazy all the time. So you need to sift them together twice. They recommend. I do it 2 or 3 times. This is actually my 3rd time. And see how it comes out where they have to be sifted together. The one that Mary and I probably had is the one where they had a little, you would just do it this way up here on the handle, but this one, you just actually turn it. And see how amazing that is. It's just as fine can be. And if you're actually using cake flour, because they say you can use cake flour, it suggests cake flour or regular flour, and I use the regular flour. By the way, there's 2 recipes I have here. One of them is from Taste of Home, which is a great recipe. And the other one is from my trusty old Had Forever Better Homes cookbook that I get a lot of the stuff out of scalloped potatoes. Everything came out of here. And there's just the only difference between the 2 is the way they combine the ingredients. So otherwise, philosophically, they're exactly the same way in how they do it. So we've got our flour all put together here and sifted. Now we're going to go over to the eggs. For the interest of time, I've gotten them mostly beaten up to a stiff. They're probably broken up apart a little now, I can see. Mostly because I didn't want to stand here and just run a beater all the way. But what's in that bowl is 1 1/2 cup of egg whites, which is the equivalent of 11 or 12 large eggs. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And 1 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar. And I don't have that container because I had to run to Shirley Parody's and borrow it because I couldn't find my container. Hey! So that's why I don't have the container of cream of tartar to show you. But it's just a little box, about this big, and it's never a big container. It's really little because it's kind of one of those ingredients you only use it exactly when you need it and nobody ever calls for it, and this is one of them. So I've gotten it mostly up to a stiff. You can see it's starting to separate from all the time I'm talking. So I am going to have to turn it back on and do some more picking. Here. I prefer to use the hand mixer when I'm doing, as you know, the maple frosting, because we mentioned that when we were cooking maple frosting. And I prefer to use the hand mixer on this because I like the control. And the other time I use the hand mixer is mashed potatoes. Otherwise, I use the KitchenAid for everything else. As you can see, it's starting to already, it was so close. It's almost to the peak. talking when I do this, but I can't. I feel like if I do that, I'm yelling over this machine. So I'm very sorry that you're watching me beat, and that's why I tried to do most of the beating ahead of time. Otherwise, how was your Friday? What can I do? Not much I can do except have you watch me beat these to a stiff. Making a formation. They're almost stiff enough yet, but see, as you notice when you're going around, I can see it's making a formation. We're almost there. Two ways that you can tell when you're there is when it holds a formation behind your beater, when you're doing something with your beater and it holds that formation, or when you stand it up, it actually makes a stiff, and we're not quite all the way there. But see how it's starting to follow the form of my beater? This is how you're almost there. Because having enough air in these eggs is the absolute success or not to this cake. Be patient. Don't say I'm close and call it. See, there you are. You've got your stiff there. And see how it was keeping... See, it's keeping its form when I beat. That means it's done. So now what I do is I have 1 cup of regular granulated sugar. We're going to want to add that and keep beating 2 tablespoons at a time. And yes, I have a 2 tablespoon for here, so that's why I'm just going to keep going. When it would be good to be using the KitchenAid. The KitchenAid does have a whisk on it. I really should be trusting that, but oh, for these kinds of delicate things, I really like this. See how it's thickening. Can you notice at all? I don't hope you can, but can you notice how it's gone from just being stiff to now it's having a thickening? If you're a person that makes meringues at all, have you ever made like lemon meringue pie or meringue on top of like a chocolate pie or something? That's what we're accomplishing. Watch me beat for a bit longer because I've got a couple more of these to go because it's 2 tablespoons at a time. Because if you do it all at once, it'll be overwhelming. You need to just add it in gradually. And get air under it. After every add, you got to get that air in there. That sugar has to break up. If you put it all in at once, it's just going to pocket. It's about 2 tablespoons, right? I'll dump about half of it in. I mean, it doesn't have to be specific to 2 tablespoons, but that's what the recipe said is 2 tablespoons, so that's why I was using it. Are you noticing how high it's standing, how fluffy it's getting? See? It's really cool. Taking my time on this last beating. I know I don't have any more sugar, I'm taking my time to make sure. Look at how smooth that is. Can you see how glossy and smooth? I'm taking my time making sure that this is really beaten up because this is our last time we're using the beater. We still have to put the flowers in there, but we fold flowers. We don't beat them. So I'm just going to get stuff off the edge quickly. And I'm going to beat it one more time. Sorry for the noise. One more time. It's that kind of cake though, so got to bear with me, people. I'm going to put this back in the fridge. Kind of exciting though, but look, come before I go, see how stiff it is, because look what I did all the way around the bowl and it just stood there. It didn't go back. See, so that tells you you've got it right. Simply marvelous. It is amazing. Look at it. And now you're in the folding. So see how I pulled it away when I got everything off the edge? I'm going to take my half cup because I've got the 1 1/2 cups of confectionery sugar in here and the 1 cup of flour. So they say to do it by quarters. So approximately a half a cup each one you're going to fold. So a rounded half cup's going to do it in 4s. So there you go. 1. And you just fold it in because you don't want to mess with the air you've put in there. You don't want to mess with the consistency of this. You just want to fold it in. Fold. It's kind of like folding your laundry, I guess. It's so funny. I always wanted to make a homemade one of these. I was always afraid to really destroy that many eggs, and it's so easy this way to just use the egg whites. And so much fun. This cake is a blast. Now, if you wanted it to be chocolate, at this point I'd probably put, I think I'd replace 1/4 cup of this flour with 1/4 cup of cocoa. Because I don't think I'd add another dry to this because it wouldn't make sense. So if you replace one full dry with another dry, so I don't know if it'd be 1/4 cup would do it. Would do a chocolate. But I'll check on that. Don't take me for real right now. I'll have to look into that. But that's what my mind says. Well, I don't know though. The flour
on Facebook, it must be true.
I didn't look it up. It's not. Oh, you mean because we're putting it on Facebook?
Exactly.
You're so funny. I'll look into that because maybe now that I'm thinking about it, would you replace the flour? Yeah, because it would be too dry if you put another dry in here. I would think that I'd replace some of the flour with cocoa. We're almost there. I guess I didn't go quite in quarters. I went more in fifths. But we're still folding. You could also put, if you wanted to do, because everybody wants to do funfetti cakes, everybody's into funfetti. When your cake has all the flour and everything in it, you could just put sprinkles in there. At the last minute, fold some sprinkles in. Funfetti. There's your funfetti cake that you all are loving. So, I mean, you can make any cake that's in a box homemade. It tastes so much better homemade. It'll last longer homemade. I don't know, I just feel like homemade's so much better because you're controlling those ingredients. So, I mean, there's no chemicals in this, no food coloring in this. There's no, when you're doing everything by homemade, you're controlling those ingredients. And I always feel so much better about that. So, yeah. Let's see if we got any on here. Nope, there's no flour on here. It's still just the white, so we're good. Let's fold it a little bit more, and then we're going to throw it in our pan. We do not grease our pan. It says to put it in ungreased. I'll check it again to be sure, but I know it says ungreased. Yep, ungreased. And here's my tube pan right here. It's just the standard Angel Food Cake pan. There you go, ungreased. 350 degrees is your temperature. Likewise, if you wanted this to be strawberry, you can use strawberry extract. You could do it any flavor. There's all these extracts. There's lemon, peppermint, strawberry, almond. Here you go. Lemon, raspberry. You could make it raspberry flavor using raspberry extract. If you're into it, coconut, go ahead. Peppermint, that's an odd one. So there, I mean, you could do it as syrup flavor. I don't know that I would drizzle maple syrup in it because it would change the consistency, but you know, change up. Don't use regular vanilla. Use any of those extracts in its place. So, you know, you can make this so many different flavors so easily, so quickly. Wouldn't that be cool to have it white, but it's got maple flavor, and then you use the maple frosting on it afterwards? Wouldn't that be cool? And then you're just going to kind of equally distribute it all the way around your pan. You could turn that pan for me, hon. That would be great. Thanks. Oops, that one didn't get quite. Okay, I just saw a little flour. Did you see it? It seemed to me like I saw flour that wasn't all mixed. And this is such a light cake. I swear you can eat more angel food cake than you can anything else. All right, let me get out of here what's left. And it's that easy. And see, you can look. See you can see the air in it. It's okay, I'll clean it like this. This is kind of too big of a one to work with right now. Once I've gotten most of it out, I can use that small one better. It's a really nice light. My mother's favorite cake is angel food cake. And for her birthday, quite frequently, I make angel food cake with maple frosting. I don't leave the frosting on it usually. When I cut the cake, I throw the dollops of frosting on it, and then I put a handful of raspberries on top of that. Well, not a handful, but 3 or 4 raspberries. And it's so pretty. For presentation, it is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous to present somebody a plate that looks like that. But if she's, you know, doesn't have a party, but if she has a party, I frost the whole thing, and then people just cut it that way with the frosting on it. Okay, and then once that's done, I'll get that off of there. Once that's all set, I want to go right in the oven with it. So 350, you need to take your bottom rack. So I took my top rack out, and put the wrong oven on. Yep. So cancel. All this time it's been warming up. It won't take very long to warm up. When that warms up, what you're doing is you're taking your excuse me, your top rack and getting it out of the way, because they want it on the bottommost rack. So the bottommost rack for 40 minutes, and then that's all there is to it. That's as easy as that cake is. And then, but you have to know what to do with it afterwards. Don't take it right out of the container. When it's done, see how this has a hole in it? What you're gonna do is take, I use like, oh, I don't have one on me here. Like, oh, I don't have one here. Like a wine bottle is a perfect bottle to use. You take it while it's still in the pan. Don't take it out of the pan until it's completely cool. You take it out of the oven and immediately invert it. So, I can't do it right now because it'll all spill out, but so you flip it upside down and you stick this hole through like a wine bottle or whatever bottle has that same, and you stick it there and you let it cool completely like that. Totally, completely like that. And then you pull out this center core. Did you see how I showed you how that came apart? When it's done, you're going to pull out, because you can see underneath here how, see how it doesn't, it's not connected? You're going to pull that core out. You just pull the core right out of it. You take a knife underneath, and that, I should have showed it to you before I filled it up. You take a knife underneath the cake and just slip it all the way around, and then flip it into your hand, and it's done. And it's perfect, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, because this ends up being the top again afterwards once you've taken it off of the pan. And then you can frost it, or just eat it that way, or drizzle it with chocolate, or drizzle it with raspberry. Oh my god, I could keep going. Maple frosting, yay. But enjoy, I mean, have fun with this. It's so easy, and you didn't know how easy it was, did you? And I didn't know for years how easy it was, so enjoy.